Hi you guys, my name is Oshun the Great. Usually I make like 2 videos a day at minimum, and I try to get something to you guys every day. But seeing as today I'm pretty much on a roll with topics that I feel very passionate about, I figured I would keep going. Um, by the way, I'm gonna link down a temporary email you guys can reach me at this time, because to be honest, I feel very lazy to like make a whole new account since I've changed my name. So until then, I will link a temporary email. But there is an Instagram also attached that I use now. So you guys can also message me on there if you have any questions or topics to talk about, or whatever the case may be. You can reach me at that link below. But if you like my video so far, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, love. But yeah, so alright, so this video is how to listen to your intuition. Now, this is something that I believe I made a video on a long time ago before I had a lot of subscribers. But then I kind of been stalling because I felt like, oh, everyone knows how to listen to their intuition. It's something that's so easy. But then I realized it may not be something that's really easy because it's something I had to learn myself. So what is intuition ultimately? Intuition is something very important to have. Everyone has it, but it's kind of like, if you don't know how to listen to it, it's a very, very quiet voice that comes out every now and again. It could be considered your gut feeling or your instinct, the first thought you have. But a lot of people overthink, or they don't have a quiet enough mind to hear their intuition. And your intuition is basically like your guidebook or your guidance, your cheat sheet through life that navigates you. And if you can hear it and listen to it and hear it clearly, it makes your life that much easier. Now I feel like you can train yourself to hear your intuition to where it's your first voice, that it becomes the forefront of your life, meaning it sounds louder and clearer. The more you practice listening to it, it becomes like your voice that you hear often, and you get better at living life. Basically, it helps me tremendously to learn how to listen to my intuition or my gut instinct or my feeling. And believe it or not, learning about psychic abilities helped me to strengthen my intuition. Understanding that human beings are gifted with the sixth sense, so feelings and thoughts that aren't necessarily limited to our 5 senses. Understanding and accepting that kind of helped me strengthen my intuition. And actually, tarot cards helped me with my intuition. So practicing with pictures or things that spark your intuition, things like that. So yeah, but I made a list of how you can basically kind of do it your own way. But yeah, here's the list so far. Number 1, meditate. Now, meditating is something that I used to do on a daily basis, but I became so lazy, I'm not even gonna lie, because meditating keeps you something you have to dedicate time to, and sometimes it's just so like you don't want to do it. It's something, meditating isn't always fun, but sometimes you will get in moods once you start meditating where you want to meditate, because it keeps you calm and grounded. But yeah, number 1 is meditate. So essentially it's about quieting your thoughts, or learning to watch your thoughts, so you can even differentiate what your intuition is. A lot of people say that you can meditate and get to the point where you quiet your mind just enough to start asking your inner self questions and receiving answers. And I do have a video on how to meditate. But briefly, how you meditate, so you don't have to go to that video, is basically you can do it Indian style, the traditional way, and focus solely on your breath. And what's going to happen is you're going to be pulled every which way with your thoughts. But every time you do that, you're supposed to bring your attention and focus back to your breath and your breathing. And to breathe correctly, you need to breathe in and out, filling up your stomach as if it was a balloon and deflating it as if it was a balloon, because we don't breathe correctly in this society. We breathe very shallow and with our chest. But essentially, bringing our focus back to our breath quiets our mind, and sometimes we can reach these states of nirvana, and where we can gain clarity and essentially hear ourselves and what's going on. But the point is not to focus on trying to reach nirvana. It's such a thing. It's such a I guess the right way to meditate is just to just simply be. But meditating is a way that you can start practicing listening to your intuition, because basically you want to create space in your mind from your thoughts, because you can't really hear your intuition if you have so much shit going on in your mind, which we all do on a daily basis. So meditate for at least 5 to 10 minutes a day. Number 2, solitude. So solitude in general, if you don't really like meditating, solitude can actually be your go-to thing to do for listening to your intuition, because ultimately what we're trying to do is get away from the noise, and sometimes that can be people around us, like I always tell you guys. That can be just believe it or not, we're very telepathic beings. Whether we realize it or not, we're picking up on other people's thoughts and vibrations on a daily basis. So we need solitude, we need time alone, and something as simple as getting time alone where you can hear your own thoughts and like what you want to do, where you want to go, like all of that matters when you're trying to listen to your intuition, and gain clarity, and hear that quiet voice inside. And really, ultimately, intuition can coincide with your feeling, your gut instinct. And the more you listen to those urges and follow those urges and understand that you're guiding your life, navigating your life based on feeling, and if you're doing that and your life is feeling better, then that means you're strengthening your intuition and you're on the right path. Number 3 is fuck other people's fuck other people. I always say this, but again, you have to get solitude to quiet your mind and stop taking what everyone else is telling you as factual. Start listening to what, like, somebody might be telling you to go to school, but something in every bone in your body might be telling you to just be an entrepreneur and wing this shit. So for each person it's different, and your intuition has all the answers, believe it or not. So once you choose to listen to it, it will give you the necessary steps to take the necessary route that you chose. So remember that your intuition has all the answers, but it's just willing, if you're not pussy enough to if you have courage enough to listen to it and go step by step for what it's telling you. Because a lot of times we do know what we need. One day we might take a day off work because simply we know we need rest, or one day we might need to go out to the beach or to get some sun or to eat kale. Like, our body and our mind and soul knows what we need, even what region we need to move to, what people we need to hang out with. All your intuition is telling you this every day. You might be the type that hangs with surfers because that's the vibe that you coincide with, some crazy shit. You'll find your tribe just by listening to your intuition. And just fuck other people, go by feeling. Number 4, honor your feelings. So the more you do that, the more you practice that. Literally, intuition is practice, because at first you're gonna suck at it. I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna have a lot of self-doubt, because maybe you've been trained to listen to other people your whole life. It may honestly feel wrong to listen to your intuition, because it may go against what everybody's telling you. Like, for me, my intuition always tells me to be free, and essentially that coincides with being a free spirit or a nonconformist. And that's scary to listen to, because all my life I've been taught, like, oh, you'll fail if you just free floating spirit. And still to this day I get people that look at me crazy for being free or they think it's a phase or whatever the case may be. But I may not have all the details right now of why it's such important for me as an individual to be a free spirit. But obviously, when I follow my path, maybe more stuff and more things will be unlocked for me to discover. But for each person, that is different. So yeah, go with your gut. It takes practice. And it may seem wrong, but go against the grain. Be courageous enough to go against the grain and listen to your own intuition. And because essentially, like I say, you always know what you need, more than anyone else. Even your mother. They would think they know what's best for you, but only you know what's best for you, because you are your only person in this body, in this gifted form. So So it takes practice. You will fail, but repeat these steps. Like the whole point of strengthening your intuition is by trial and error. It's kind of like when you first understand the power of choice and exercising your power of choice in everything in your life and how you want your life to be. It's not going to be perfect at first because you might figure out you might not want certain things and then go back to the drawing board again. So it's kind of like that. Maybe sometimes we might mistake our ego for our intuition, which that's a whole nother video. Our ego could be something that's been molded since childhood, like, oh, get married. That you might think that's your intuition speaking to you, but in reality it's fear. So we have to learn to listen to a space of clarity and not fear. So yeah, so fail and repeat, try again if you fail, and maybe like eventually you'll learn how to differentiate your ego and your intuition. A lot of times your ego sounds like this parent because we've been so conditioned to always be watched over. So be careful with that. And it will feel very fearful. Like, okay, for example, I'm free right now, but sometimes when I get afraid of like how I'm gonna make enough money to sustain myself, I get afraid and I go to the first thought, which is get the first job that I can. But that's not really who I am or what resonates with me, and it honestly feels wrong with every bone in my body to act out of fear. So a lot of times we tend to settle and accept a life that is not meant for us, or yeah, basically out of fear. So make sure you're choosing out of clarity, which again, meditating will help. So it takes strengthening your willpower. A lot of times we are very stubborn with our intuition, so sometimes we're very good at hearing our intuition, but we're stubborn anyway. Meaning sometimes our intuition might tell us something that we need to do, but we don't want to do it, so we ignore it completely. Meaning, don't date that guy or girl, but we do it anyway because, oh, they look so good, or oh, I just want to sleep with them, or oh, this and that. So we have to start paying attention to our intuition because it might be saying, oh, there's someone better for you right around the corner, but you might be impatient and be like, whatever, I just want to waste my time or distract myself with this or that. But a lot of times we tend to do that. I still tend to do that. And I'm psychic as fuck, or spiritual as fuck, or intuitive as fuck. But a lot of times we're just stubborn and we're human. But when that happens, we just forgive ourselves and try to go recenter ourselves and go again. Sometimes we do have to learn hard lessons the hard way with our intuition in order to learn how to strengthen it or listen. Because sometimes we just it takes us hitting our head a couple times before we can actually listen to our intuition. So sometimes we have to deprive ourselves of temporary desires that comes next. Meaning sometimes we don't want to listen to our intuition, or we get afraid of what it'll say. So we tend to, obligate our time with weed, sex, drugs, bad company, whatever the case may be. Temporary pleasures, quick fixes, because we don't want to know like what happens next or what we need to do. Sometimes it seems hard to take the next step that our intuition is guiding us to do, so we resist or we prolong necessary change. A lot of times we know what we need to do, and that's your intuition. We know, but we're just stubborn or we're playing dumb. But we have to learn how to stop doing that, or again, we just have to learn the hard way, the natural way. And sometimes it does take learning the hard way. Sometimes me even telling you this through the video is not going to help you, save you. Essentially, sometimes you just have to learn listening to your intuition the hard way, which a lot of people do. But then that leads to go easy on yourself. Again, you're going to mess up. It's going to take practice. A lot of this you can channel to your intuitions, which is your guides too. If you believe in angels, you can actually learn automatic writing, which is when you meditate and quiet your mind, you get channeled messages from your angels. I have a whole video on that. It's called how to speak to your spirit guide. Just maybe I'll find a link. I don't know. I have so many videos, you guys. But look up automatic writing. You can learn direct guidance from your angels, or whatever you believe in. So yeah, go easy on yourself. Have compassion, because we're human. Like, your intuition is gonna save you all the time. Like, there's so many factors that come into play of why we can't hear our intuition sometimes, or why we go against it. And we have to honor ourselves at every level that we're at right now, because maybe there is something we just didn't know in this point in time, and that we'll learn from going against intuition or not hearing it. But ultimately, it will strengthen the more you consciously choose to try to listen to it. Even if your intent is to listen to it, like, you're getting better already. The fact that you're watching this video, trying to listen to your intuition more, possibly means you're already listening to your intuition. Another one is forget the standards. Why did I put that one? Have no shame. 1 second. So listen to your intuition. Forget the standards. Oh, okay. So when I mean forget the standards, is like, when, again, your intuition may go against everything you may ever known or what people are telling you, but fuck that. Like, you have to do what's best for you at the end of the day. And the more you put yourself first, your ideals, your thoughts, your moods, your feelings, and honor that is essentially honoring your intuition or your gut feeling. And literally, I feel like that's the only way to live, is by how you feel. And sometimes that does go against everything and everyone. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you can't have any shame in how you choose to live or express yourself, or who you tend to be when you listen to your intuition. Because literally, I can be deemed crazy right now because of my free spiritedness. And that is something I actually battle with every day. It's like, am I insane? Should I go back to my normal state of finding safety? But you have to have no shame in how you turn out to be when you listen to your intuition. But yeah, and ultimately, when you honor your intuition, you're honoring yourself, and that becomes stronger every day. But yeah, I hope this made sense for you guys. Be dope, be you unapologetically.